Hi. So, this is a video I mentioned last video I did, where I said I want to look at the DC Universe Infinite app. So that's basically DC's version of Comixology. So you can either get like a yearly subscription, you can have an ultra subscription for a year, obviously the Ultra One's dearer, or in the UK for £6.99 you can take out a monthly one. So I'm trying it for a month. I did have a subscription for a year, but it was like 2021, 2022 when I did it, and it was when it first started. That's when I first got it, and I didn't really use it much then, but I'm much more impressed with it now. So I'll just go through it. So my tablet's plugged in. I forgot to charge it up, so hey ho. But yeah, I'm finding it really fun to read. My problem is, it's like with, so as you can see, hold on. So these are what I've dipped into at the moment. It's really easy to maneuver, and even on the standard one, they bring out new titles that have only been out for a month, so you can have access. Like for example, what did I? So you've got Absolute Batman #1. You've got Batman and Robin, Laden Egg, the Christmas one. You can look at that. So there's loads of stuff if you want to just try new titles. But for me, I didn't buy it for that because I do my review show and I go, I'm hot. That's why I've changed. It's really hot in my sweater. So I forgot what I was saying. So for me, I've got it for deep diving on stuff I used to read years and years ago, like in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and also to try titles that I missed because there's about a 6-year gap, something like that, if not longer, from about 2008, 2017, something like that, so 2015, something like that, where I just stopped by reading DC and Marvel full stop. So there's a big 10-year gap in my reading history because I just fell out. I stayed with 2000 AD and I stayed with a lot of indies like Valiant and Image and things like that. But for some reason, I just stopped. I had a lot going on at the time, so it just lost interest when I got into reading books as well. Strange, I know. But yeah, so that's a very long ass way for me to say that's what I'm using it for. So I'm using it for looking at titles what I did read years ago, and also stuff that I missed. So what's good about this, just move it up, if you look, so if you look at the bottom here, it's got My DC. And you click on that, as you can see, Mind is a Geek, and it shows my comic history. So you can put like a love heart next to titles you want to try. So I've been dipping in. I've got a very soft spot for the Justice League Detroit era, which was like the really cheesy early 80s period when you had hip hop dancing, heroes like Vibe, etc. I've been revisiting Eclipso. That's just my favourite villain of superhero comic. Resurrection Man, Hawkman by John Ostrander. I've started All New Acts, and this is one of the series that came out when I had stopped reading DC for a time, which is by Gail Simone. And I'm thinking of starting a comic club on Discord. So either message me on Threads or send me a message on here, and I'll send you the link. And one of the books I'd like us to look at is All New Atom. Really, really fun superhero / sci-fi series. I've looked at Power of the Atom. That's one of the ones from the mid 80s of the Atom, when he just came out his Sword and Sorcery period, so he still had that kind of trappings on him. The Omega Man, because it's always intrigued me. I never read it. It was one of the Baxter comics back in the early 80s. That was like the high quality comics. And it's always just a little bit out of my pocket money range. I didn't know enough about them to commit at the time. Phantom Stranger, The Movement, which is Gets my one, but I've kind of stopped reading it. It pulled me out a bit. It was a bit too on the nose on some of the bits. Doc Savage, Captain Atom, which I read fully when it first came out in the 80s. Really, really good series, and of course All Star Squadron. So you can favourite your series. So these are my favourite collections. So these, if you cast a whole series, it saves the whole collection. So click on See More. So one of the things I've saved, you can actually save runs as well. They give you suggestions of like runs that might be like a crossover between titles. So I've saved the I, Vampire: Rise of the Vampires. So in that you get Justice League Dark and 2 issues of I, Vampire. So I'm going to be reading that. So I've saved the whole I, Vampire series, but it means now I won't be searching about trying to find the comics that link up with it, which I think is a really cool thing to have. So just click on that again. Nope. Right, favourite comic series. So if you see here, so this shows what I've saved so far. So like I said, these are a lot of stuff what I missed first time around. So like these are all mid 2000s, around about when the 52 started. So I got onto the 52, then I jumped off about halfway through it. And then there's the ones that came out of the death metal or Asian metal or whatever it was. So there's series like Damage, Vertigo, House of Mystery. Then I've jumped onto some early 80s stuff like the All Stars, Young All Stars, which tied into the Roy Thomas Cobb Hawk. I love Hawkman, so I've got all the Hawkman series there. Creature Commandos, Challenge of the Unknown, Doc Savage, and so on. So it's a really good way. I got it last night, and I just went on a real. Last night I just went on a real deep dive. I kind of like read 2 comics, but the rest of it, it's like when you go on Netflix and you just like go looking for your ideal program, you can't find it, you just keep them going like this rabbit hole. Try one series that says if you like this, try this. I was doing that with this, and it once you get out of your system, it's great. This morning I woke up about 8:30 and I was in bed, I was in bed till about nearly 1 o'clock just on this. I was just I just I opened up about 6 series, and I just started reading them like one issue of one, and then jump onto another. So I was reading the Calypso, Atom, All Star Squadron, and things like that, and it's really good. But the good thing about it as well, like I said, it doesn't just do that. You can also, as I mentioned, look at current series. So if I wanted to read Absolute Superman, it's only an issue behind physical copies. So that's amazing. I mean, that's £6.99, and I know already this. I got it last night. I got it about late afternoon, and already I've used it about most of today, and I used quite a lot of this last night. I must admit, initially had like teething problems. I paid through Google Pay on the Play app on my Android, and it, because I'd logged on years ago, it wasn't registering that I'd paid, even though it showed I'd paid and it'd come out to my bank and that lot. But it was kind of good exercise as well, because I sent a message on there saying, "Hey, look, I've paid, but it's not working. Get it sorted." And the DC Infinite team, they got it sorted within an hour or so. Good response. fast reply. So yeah, no complaints. Very, very satisfied. So I think what I'm going to do going forward, at the moment I get Netflix, Disney Plus, and what else? I get another one sometimes. Oh, Crunchyroll. So I think what I'll do, I'll either stop Disney Plus or Netflix or flip flop between them up. So get rid of one of those, and that means the money I save from that I can use on this because I really, really am enjoying it. Initially, I've got this weird thing of with libraries and stuff like this. I don't like reading stuff what I don't keep for good. So that's why for my digital comics I was using Comixology because once I bought it, it was mine. But I must admit, this is fantastic for like I said, getting the series what I might have a slight bit of nostalgia for, or I missed them first time round, and even if I don't like them, I'm not losing much because it's only $6.99. And already I've read about 20 comics, if not more. So that's just in one day. So if that's 31 days, that's a hell of a lot of comics I'll be reading. So if you've not got it because you are like me, you're thinking, oh, I don't know if I want it, or it seems like a lot of money. It's not a lot of money if you calculate. I mean, a comic costs $4.99, so it's the price of a comic and a bit, or it's the price of a Marvel comic. Um, so yeah, I would highly recommend giving it a go. Like I say, do what I do what I've done. Just try it for a month, or you can if you've not used it before. You get 7 days free trial. So try that, see what you think. I'm not going to bother with the Marvel one because I'm just not that invested in Marvel, to be honest. There's not enough on it what I like for me to justify paying whatever it is, and it's dearer, which is crazy. So yeah, I'm just going to stick with this one and still keep my Comixology for like my Image comics, but some digital ones that I get an Image. But yeah, so that's it. And so at the moment, I am doing the Gail Simone. I've got to stand up. I'm doing the Gail Simone Atom comic. I wondered why my head was really big then. I had it on 2 times the size. I had it on Zoom. But yeah, so I'm reading the Atom. What I might do with my book club. Proper Karen, no, Anna. And I'm reading Eclipso, which I really recommend. It's a fun read. And I'm trying Resurrection Man as well, All Star Squadron. I'm going to dip in a few others. I want to reread The Legion of Superheroes because that's my favourite superhero team, period. But yeah, I recommend it. And if you're not a big, or if you're not a big DC fan, or you just feel like, oh, there's just too much, it's a good gateway into it. You can just, like I said, it shows you all the new stuff, but you can go deep dive and it shows you reading lists as well. So I would give the app 8 out of 10, not 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10, because there was a few glitches. Like I said, I had a bit of problems initially logging in, getting it all working, but once I emailed them, it got sorted. And one of the comics I was reading, pages were missing. It wasn't on my phone, but on my tablet, they were missing. But I got that sorted as well. So there's still a few glitches, but that's what it is. It's electrical. So, but yeah, 8 out of 10. Like I said, if you do want to join my Discord, send me a message on here or on Threads, and we'll get that sorted. Okay, bye.